Hello and welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your weekly tabletop podcast. I'm Shane, as always, hanging out with Fox.
Gang, what's going on?
Now, as people would believe, we're not hanging out in person. Still ones and zeros between us.
Yeah, many ones and zeros transferring through the ether of time and space.
Just how does it happen? I don't even know.
Well, first COVID happens. Then
I meant
oh, you meant
I meant
the
the
transfer
internet
of information. Oh, yeah.
Magic.
I don't know. It's pretty close to magic, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're nowhere near each other. We're 100 kilometers away.
At least 150.
At least. But through the power of the magic of the internet, we can still bring these episodes to you. This episode is sponsored by the internet.
The internet. That's a pretty good sponsor right there. So everyone check out the internet at theinternet.com.
Yeah, you can just type in Google into Google and you'll get to the internet.
Perfect.
And you can buy their merch.
What are we talking about today, dude?
This is going to be a very, very different pace for us. This episode are our most disliked war games. These are the war games we're never going to play.
Yeah, we normally talk about how much we love things. I think this episode we're going to talk about how much we don't love them.
Exactly. We're always talking about how good is this beer? How good is this game we're never going to play? Even games we know we probably won't get around to, we still want to. So this is a complete 180. And this is just us talking shit on a few games for the next probably too long objectively. So
we're going to upset someone, surely.
I hope if we haven't by the end of this episode, we didn't go hard enough. That's the thing.
True, we didn't do our job.
Yeah. This is the real Shane and Fox. This is unfiltered, unedited.
Isn't that beers and banter? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but that's still like a positive version of us because we've had a few.
True. That's true.
I haven't had enough coffee or enough sleep, so I am pissed. And you're going to hear about why. Because of these stupid games people keep making.
True.
Now, look, I don't know anything about your games, and you know nothing about mine.
No, complete secrecy between both of us. Radio silence, in fact, for the last couple of days has been pretty quiet.
Yeah, yep. There's been no chirps out of us.
No.
So I know for a fact one of my games is going to make you flip a table.
Oh,
I think you actually
really?
like it. Yeah. So
okay.
Anyway, I'll stop creating suspense and hype. I want to know one of your games, Shane. What war game are you never going to play and why?
Oh man, look, this was a tough one. Actually, it wasn't really. It was pretty easy, but this game is Malifaux, right? Now, straight out from the outside looking into Malifaux, it is interesting. I'm interested in the setting, the world, the lore, being set in a steampunk early 1900s alternate Earth kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Froth that shit. Love
You
any
do.
alternate history. Fucking love it, right?
Yeah.
So it's in that same vein. Sure, it's not alternate history, but it's like, it's early
Abstract
1920s.
history.
Abstract history, exactly. Early 1920s, which is sick. Love all that, and then the alternate side of things is great. But I don't know. It sort of just stops there. Like, I look at some of the models and like some of these they're quite quirky. Some of them are kind of cool, but just not appealing to me enough,
Yeah, okay. So you think probably the game itself is fine, but the models just are so lackluster in your eyes, you wouldn't even get it for the models.
I own 3 models, 3 undead Ashigaru, right? For a different reason.
So far you've talked about how much you like the setting and the aesthetic, and you even own some of the models, but you'll never play this game.
No. Dude, I don't know, like, there's zombie babies in there, and I'm just like, what's up with that? It's like, They just look weird. I've seen like some of these like teddy bear things. Like they're kind of cool, I guess. They're kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah,
that game.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Sorry, I agreed with you because I don't know. I didn't want to seem like I didn't know.
Of course. But I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. And like it uses this like sort of fate deck mechanic, which is like a deck of cards, which I look at and I go like, I just think like how how could that be implemented in a way that's good without it being like unnecessary? You know, like
Sure,
is it just
yeah.
some extra element they've tried to do to be different?
Yeah.
Because that's the hard thing with any war game. It's like they all strive to be different than others. Like you don't want to be just a standard, you know, like, oh, this is just a Warhammer clone. This is just a Legion clone. Like you want to try and stand out above the rest. So like they've thought of maybe like we use these playing cards for some kind of thing, which I guess it kind of goes with the aesthetic of the game. It is that sort of quirky, like it reminds me like a Tim Burton movie basically, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like, okay, I guess I get the playing cards kind of thing, but I don't know. It just seems unnecessary from someone who doesn't know any of the rules. Like, just looking at it, I just go, nah.
Yeah, fair enough. I get it. I get it. Especially when a game like this is, I assume, pretty immersive. Like, you're sort of playing in the universe itself is a really big appeal for the game.
Yeah.
You know, you heard it's got good mechanics. It's a skirmish game, sweet. But you really are having to buy into that universe, and if there's things in there that you just like, you kind of go, ugh, I don't really like those. You can't avoid them when you're playing the game because they exist in your universe, you know?
Yeah, and like it is, like it is interesting. The universe is interesting. Being a skirmish game, that's another thing which is appealing. It's very narrative. Like it's checking all these boxes, right? Like, don't get me wrong, but like, I'm just looking at those zombie babies and I'm just like, nah, not a chance. Like, I don't want to like even know that they exist, you know? Like,
I don't want to play a game in a world where those things exist.
Exactly.
And you can't avoid it because sometimes you might be like, hey, anyone want to play Malifaux? And some bloke's like, yeah, man, I'll meet you there at 4 o'clock. And you go there and he's got the zombie babies. And you're like, you know what, fam? This is not going to work for me, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm out.
One of us is going to have to leave and quit the game. And I feel like it's not going to be you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, doing, you know, reading over all this stuff, because I didn't want to like just come in here and be like, you know, this game sucks because of X. Like, I did look up online. I spent a good time looking at all the different models and reading bits on lore and all of them and stuff like that. And there are so many cool elements to it, but just like, goddamn, you know, I just can't get past it. I don't know if that's some sort of like trauma that I've been through as a child. I don't know, but
no, fair enough. Zombie baby is terrifying. Probably a very real encounter you've had at some stage. I'm looking through the models now, and I get it. Like, some of the models are big hits. Like, some of them look incredible, and some of them, and I think that makes some of them look out of place because you got these incredible models where you're like, man, if the universe was just them and some things that sort of, I think aesthetically there's such a diverse range that it's kind of jarring.
Yeah, maybe it's like too I don't know if it can be too diverse, but that's the way I sort of look at it. Like, there's some cool models which are like, you know, that 1920s expedition kind of looking dudes. Like, you'd imagine them going through the heart of the Amazon or Africa or something like that, right? Yeah. But then you look at the zombie babies. It's just like,
it's really the zombie babies, isn't it, dude? Let's be real. It's your entire hatred for this game. It rests entirely on those zombie babies.
In fact, I love the game, but
in fact, I own it. I have 3 armies. I just can't bring myself to play it because of the freaking zombie babies. You know what? Fair, man.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Malifaux, not for the same reasons, just because like it's just a saturated market, right? The skirmish games. I know it's similar to Infinity in that it's got like a lot of different mechanics that actually, according to other people who have played it, they blend really well, and it's a really great game. But it does require it to be one of your main games. You know, you can't just sort of like pick it up easily. It's not like Test of Honor where you can sort of pick it up, be ran through the rules once, and then in game 2 you feel like, yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a bit to learn it, and then you constantly have to be playing it to, you know, be up with the rules.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I just don't think it'd ever, like, get played from us because we've already got so many games in the skirmish space that occupy those spots, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it just isn't as cool to me as Infinity. So if I'm gonna pick up a heavier skirmish game, it'd be something
Oh
else.
yeah, it's gonna be Infinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. So yeah, what give me shit on one for me, dude. What do you got?
So I guess this is kind of similar. Not similar game, but similar in that there's so much about the game that I do like. So at first it was kind of weird to me. I was like, why don't I actually like this game? But that is Blood Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Which, for those who don't know, it's like an arcade style, grid-based American football-inspired bloodbath. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah, that's fair. You read that right off the front page, didn't you?
No, I didn't actually. No, no.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I should. I don't think so. But if they want to buy that off me, they totally can. So it's like, you've got your two little football teams that are they're Warhammer models. Age of Sigma, right? Yeah, Age of Sigma.
Fantasy, but yeah.
Same factions, right, as Age of Sigma.
No, Blood Bowl is actually still set in the fantasy universe, but that's
fantasy. Totally. Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. I couldn't care less.
Sorry, just don't do it again.
So I'll talk about what's good about it. I think what I like about it, or what other people like about it, rather, is that it's pretty chaotic in its rule set. It doesn't try to be a balanced game because there's always, oh, you're playing halflings, they're garbage, but you'll have a good time. It kind of relies on the fun beer and pretzels vibe, but to the nth degree. So I feel like it's chaos in the rules and the crazy stuff that can happen during the game. It's so swingy. That feels like its appeal. And whilst it does have pretty good mechanics, and you can still be strategic, and it does scratch that strategic itch, I still feel the appeal is that chaotic, fun beer and pretzels kind of vibe,
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think that you play gridiron American football IRL?
That's it.
Do you think if you didn't play that, do you think you'd be more interested in this game? Because are you subconsciously just comparing it, being this is nothing how this game plays? You know, I know it's like orcs or fucking zombies or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can't compare it. It is apples and oranges, but so you don't subconsciously just be this isn't football. This is bullshit.
No, I don't think so. I think I think objectively the game seems pretty good. It's got low model count. That's perfect for me. It's pretty immersive, right? With the big boards, and you can build stadiums with whatever.
Oh yeah, and dugouts and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it is kind of cool like that.
And it's got a campaign league kind of system, right? So you play against a football league,
Yeah.
So all of that was cool. And playing Gridiron, I could appreciate some of the things that happened in the rules that I was yeah, I mean, that's...
Oh, yeah.
It's
they
heavily
paid attention to that kind of thing. Yeah.
Loosely, blocking and throwing and all that kind of stuff, having the quarterback or whatever, or the passer, they like to call it, or the thrower, sorry.
Yeah.
So it was really weird for me because I was I can see all these good things about the game, and I love Gridiron, I love Warhammer, and it's Warhammer Gridiron.
Yeah.
I also love that, if I want to play an intense 1v1, we're trying to out-strategy each other, I'll be playing 40k, Yeah. So everything else, I kind of want it just to be lighthearted and fun. And this game uses its chaos to sort of take the pressure off. It's hey, you and me, we're not really... Yeah, the better player is probably going to win, but crazy stuff can happen, and we're going to have fun. Yeah. Fun
and
when
it swings
does.
Goes from you've got no hope in hell to all of a sudden you're winning in the heartbeat.
Yeah.
The halflings can be they can pick up the ball and then be thrown by
the trees or whatever.
By the tree dudes. So there is there is that sort of chaos there, which is quite humorous and entertaining. But I feel the same way a little bit. I feel cool, and I've been tempted to buy just even a team so many times, but there's other things I think which just take the cake.
Yeah, and so the reason I'll never play Blood Bowl, I think, is because of two things. I was able to kind of sort through my smooth brain. I was able to glide over the top of it and find a few divots, and and in those divots, I found out that like I'm a war gamer.
Yeah.
You know, I want guns and bullets, or I want swords and shields. I want a battle. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not a party gamer. It's just kind of too, I don't want to say goofy, but goofy, you know? Especially because I'm already so immersed in the Warhammer universe, to see these models portrayed in a way that doesn't suit the grimdark style that I love about those universes.
Yeah.
It's kind of jarring for me in that sense. So I know there's so many things about it that on paper I should love, but you know, if I've got 2 hours to play a game, I feel like there's about 20 games that I'd play instead of Blood Bowl, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my first one. It was not a touchdown for me. I can appreciate it's a good game, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, that's fair, dude. That's fair.
So, what do you got, man? I'm excited. Malifaux was out of left field for me, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of...
I guess...
I was trying to think about games that you would not like to play.
Yeah.
And I looked at Malifaux and I was like, well, he's got some Malifaux. It's skirmish. It kind of has that... You're right, it's more Tim Burton than it is... what's that other universe you love? Cthulhu. What's that? What's it called?
Oh...
Go. H.P. Lovecraft.
That's it, Lovecraftian.
Yeah, for sure. I sort of thought, I don't know much about Lovecraftian, but I looked at it and thought it was kind of that style. Yeah. So I was like, this is for Shane. You know, I thought I could see him playing that, so he's not going to pick that. And then the first game he picked was like Malifaux. I was like, damn. So
yeah, Blood Bowl for you, I knew how you sort of felt about it a little bit, but I didn't think it'd be like one that you'd just like write off.
Yeah. No, it's not for me, because we played against the Thoughtless Casual Gaming boys, and like...
We did.
They were incredible at teaching it. They made it fun. They made it dynamic. We had Burnsy there. He was great as well.
Burnsy.
You played Burnsy. So we played it in the most fun environment you could imagine, and I walked away going, it was fun because of the dudes that were there. Yeah. But the game itself, I just wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Yep. Easy.
Yeah. So what do you got?
My second one, Kings of War.
Bro, my second one is Kings of War.
All right. Let's compare. So first up, being a rank and flank game, it doesn't appeal to me. I know there's a good tactical element there with attacking the size of units and stuff like that, and doing a lot of blocking, but I think rank and flank was a big part of wargaming history, but I just don't think that I will play those kind of games. If I do, it's probably going to be like a Napoleonic or some kind of like history game like that, Civil War or something like that, right? American Civil War. Something like that. Like I see MJ posting all these things in our Discord all the time of these beautiful models, beautiful tables and all that sort of stuff. And I go, okay, if I'm going to play rank and flank, it's going to be one of them. So Kings of War, I don't know, like, did it come out to scratch the itch of those that lost Warhammer Fantasy? Maybe, I don't know, but like, and the universe again is pretty cool. Like it's so much after learning more about Armada and Vanguard and stuff like that. There is so much more than the Orcs v Humans v Undead, which I originally thought it was. Like I thought it was like what is this, like a Warcraft 3 kind of thing? Warcraft 2?
Sure. First of all, how dare you? Yeah. You would love that.
Yeah, I would. I'd buy that in a heartbeat, dude. I'd buy 10 of them. So it is more than that. Like it's got, there are cool races in those, I guess, 3 categories. But the skirmish mode Vanguard is probably something I can see myself looking into, but not the rank and flank big battle Kings of War standalone core game thing.
Yeah. And I agree on all fronts. Like it's an era of wargaming that we look at, I think, as newer wargamers. We look at and go, man, like the appeal to it is that it's kind of retro, it's like there's always this respect I think people have for maybe like technology or things in the past where it's like I dig that because I didn't get to experience it, and it feels like it's rich in history and culture and things like that. So I feel like that's a big part of like the hipster movement, you know, embracing all these kind of older styles, is this respect for things we didn't get to experience when they were happening. And so we've got that for this style of wargame, but not to the point where we ourselves would play it, you know, because wargaming to us, I was thinking, I was like, what is it really about this style of this rank and flank movement tray based mass wargame that I don't like? And I think to me, it revealed that terrain is such a massive part of my wargaming experience, and the logistical nature of having these movement trays means terrain can't play a big role.
Well, no, it does to an extent, but it is scarce. You know, you're not moving troops through a ruined building. You're moving them around something. Like you're using that terrain to make sure you can't get charged from, you know, your right hand flank or whatever.
Exactly.
So
it's all zoning.
Yeah, exactly. It's all zoning, and you know, you're just using that big mountain or ruin or whatever it is to make sure you can't get attacked from that side, which that's the tactical side of it, which I appreciate. But it's just, I'd rather have my dudes scrambling through the ruins than like being like, no, we have to stand shoulder to shoulder and walk around it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know?
Yeah. And again, with all these games, we've already touched on it. You know, we can appreciate so much about them, but it just doesn't scratch our itch. Like this has like 15 different factions. And we do play a martyr. Like we've got a martyr. I shouldn't say we play it. We've got a martyr.
We got it, yeah.
And the models look fine. I guess when I was looking through, I was like, oh, there's not really an army that like jumps out at me as something that's like super cool. The dwarves are all right. But like it's cheap. It's one of the last remaining well put together, you know, strategically. It's in its 3rd edition, and apparently it's getting really good reviews that it does that game style well.
Yeah.
But like none of that outweighs the fact that I just don't give a shit. Like I don't want to play that style of game. I don't know. Yeah. Terrain means too much to me. I love in skirmish games for it to be terrain dense and for it to be a little bit about what I do with my troops and a little bit about what you do with yours, but also there's this third enemy or ally that is terrain. I love moving a guy up on a little ledge or poking him out of a window or, hiding behind a lantern. Yeah. I've
actually got 2 models from Kings of War.
Bro, you've got every game you hate.
I know. Not my last one, though. Not my 3rd one. But I bought these little models from Tricky Throw the Dice. It is some goblins riding... They call them like a moor beast. It's kind of like a lion cross a wolf kind of thing.
Oh, sweet.
So I've got 2 different ones of them. I just think they look neat.
Yeah,
so I was like, I'll get these
neat.
guys.
Yeah.
So I haven't painted them or built them yet, but that was the intention.
Sure, yeah. I do like that with these you can buy like these mega armies with the game. It's like I think it's like $200 or something. You just get like a big old, I guess it's like a start collecting, but you know, because the models aren't as GW in quality, they still look amazing. But you get that slightly better price, you know, because there's not as much technology in there.
I've seen people do really cool things too with like the whole multi-base thing. Like, you know, they build them into almost like little dioramas, which is really cool.
Yep.
So there is that aspect is pretty interesting, being able to like take your hobby up a level because you can have all these dudes on one base, not like individual bases for all of them.
Yeah. Great point. Great point.
Yeah.
That would be a big appeal for people that aren't me. You know, and probably for you, like to do a little diorama and make it a bit more immersive. Like you're not just working within the small confines of a round base.
Yeah.
You've got this whole, you get an opportunity to tell a story with these movement trays more. But again, even talking about that, I'm not the least bit excited about it. So,
no.
So I guess that, you know, it's one of those things like any game with a good crowd would do very well to drag me in. But I still feel like, I know Tricky at Throw the Dice is like a big scene sort of building up for Kings of War. Even knowing that and loving all the blokes that are playing it, I'm just like, it's still not enough,
Yeah. I'd like to think maybe with that scene growing, the Vanguard might grow a little bit, or even Armada.
Armada would be sweet, yeah.
I would jump into either of those two, like, in a heartbeat. But
For
just
sure.
the Kings of War large-scale battle system wouldn't do it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Wait, now I forget. I mean, I guess we both just did a game, so... I was like, oh, it's my turn. No, wait, I just did a game. Hey.
Well, you do your third one, because you sort of... If we have the same one again, I'll fucking laugh. But
you will not have this one, my friend. In fact, you'll hate me for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you won't hate me. I don't think. I think you'll understand. Maybe. I need to get another beverage for this one because I don't have the courage to tell you.
You're gonna say bolt action, aren't you?
No, I would never. I would never say that unless I will. You have to stay tuned. Maybe talk about your favorite brand of hat, and I'll go get a beer. One sec.
My favorite brand of hat? That's a good question. I've sort of been out of touch with the brands of hats lately. There's caps. I mean, they're not a brand or a style of hat, but caps are always good, and I don't mind the old wide brim hat. Oh, you're back. Okay.
I was so tempted to stay AFK longer to hear.
I'm glad you didn't.
Okay. So, my last game, the game that I will never play. Actually, I do have a backup game if we need it, but this one, I just can't see myself playing this game. I couldn't be less interested in Gaslands, my dude.
Oh, you fucker.
I could. Do you want to explain Gaslands to the uneducated like myself? Actually, I don't have anything in this category. It's Hot Wheels.
It is Hot Wheels, yes. It is basically Hot Wheels cross Mad Max. So we've done an episode on Gaslands, Unfamiliar Wargames #1.
Yeah, true. All those years ago.
Yes. It is. I mean, like, what's not to love, dude? It's cars, like, shooting at each other. Mm-hmm. You're racing.
Yeah. So I'm getting less interested.
There's guns and bullets. That was the one thing you said you needed in a war game.
So, yeah, and I think that's what I drew it down to. I was like, first of all, I don't know. I don't even like the Mad Max setting. I like the post-apocalyptic setting. Love that. I love, what do you call that? Steampunk. I love that. I just don't love where Mad Max falls in all that,
Well, it's not really steampunk, but carry on.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, yeah, that's true. But that ramshackled kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I typically like that, but yeah, I don't know. Just the aesthetic couldn't be less appealing to me, and the game style. Like I said, I want a battle. I want a war. Yep. And to me, that doesn't look like people playing football, and it doesn't look like people doing a rally car race. Although you are shooting guns and bullets, it's different to me, That's fair. It is interesting, like the story behind it being a TV show, like Death Race. That's like, I get why people love it. I don't love it for that aspect of it. I actually think the whole TV show is kind of like it's. It's whatever.
What I love, it's whatever. What I love most about it is the kit bashing and the building of these cars. Like you can go to Kmart or Target or whatever, and you can buy a little $3 Matchbox car, and then you can take it home, strip the paint off it, and just go to town. You can glue spikes on it. You can glue guns on it. You can glue armor panels. You don't have to make the ramshackle. You can actually make them. There's all different factions where you can make them more military. Or you can make them like more streamlined, like like sports cars and stuff like that. So less guns and more like boosters and stuff like that.
Almost
you don't have to have them like ramshackle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, almost sci-fi-esque, and you can have like motorbikes and stuff like that. But yeah, I understand why you aren't into it, because I know what you like, dude. We've been wargaming for a hot minute.
Yeah. I didn't. I fully expected when I said it, you would just be like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. That's not for you, Fox.
I was surprised, but I wasn't as surprised as I thought I might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, again, I can appreciate that. Like, I like that war games exist. You know, it's potentially this creator. I think of 2 games immediately where you can just kit bash something and they love it. Like, it's encouraged. It's part of the game. It's part of the appeal when they wrote the rules. And it's Gaslands and A Billion Suns.
Yeah,
and
same creator,
guy, right?
Yeah, Mike Hutchinson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I love that. But at the same time, for me, that's kind of a turn-off because I struggle. I can only see the Matchbox car, and I see people use cool things to make ships for A Billion Suns, but to me, I'm just like, I can't not see the thing you use to make it. It's this really weird disconnect that I have, and it goes to everything except for like well done terrain. I don't know why. I love terrain, and I don't care what people use to make it. For me, it somehow makes sense, but it's strange to me to see a car you can kit bash it amazing, and I'm like, I love it, but I know it was like a Hot Wheels. I saw this dude like make an entire fleet, and I could just tell they were made out of pegs. It was so clever.
For A Billion Suns.
For A Billion Suns, sorry. Yeah. And I could see, I was like, are they pegs? Because if they are, he's done an incredible job. And surely enough, they were pegs of all different sizes. The entire fleet was just made with pegs.
Yeah.
And he'd taken them apart, flipped them around, and they looked incredible. But I just couldn't, I can't do it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I really don't. There's some
Poor man's spent hours doing these, like making these out of pegs, and you're like, yeah, nice clothes, pegs, nerd.
Yeah. What are you doing, playing Billion Suns or hanging your things out in the sun? You nerd. No, it was incredible. It really was. He got like thousands of upvotes. I'm the minority. I'm the one. But I saw a Kroot army the other day, and like, one of them was like a toy dinosaur that he'd like obviously converted and made look incredible. And everyone's like, how sick is this? I'm like, all I can see is a toy dinosaur at the back. That's
man.
all I can see. So
you need to open up your mind, dude.
I know, dude. I know.
You're so closed. Like, I mean, I get it. You probably
line.
Goddamn. You probably look at these Gaslands cars and be like, my son has that same car. It was red with flames on it. Now, it doesn't matter how much shit you stick on it.
Yeah, that's
it's still that red with flames Matchbox car.
I don't know what it is. I know we're all on the spectrum to some degree, but I feel like I'm right up there. There's just something that can't tick. I can just see what it once was. It's got to be a plastic kit or a 3D printed kit or a model that was designed as the model. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's fair.
So Gaslands. Not my jam.
Gaslands. Yep. I'll find someone else to play with then.
Okay.
You're not phased at all.
Yeah. In fact, I'm relieved of anything. My biggest fear is that I'll go over to your house one day and you'll have a track set up. You know, your Hot Wheels track.
Gaslands. with the loops.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, the bendy tracks that you can, that click into each other. I'm like, dude, I got one for my son. I could have just brought that. It's got lights and everything. So I'm glad that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's not in our future.
Yeah.
So, my man.
My third game.
Yep.
I don't know how you're going to feel about this one. I think you'll feel indifferent.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll see it coming or not, but my one is Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Great choice, man. If I had a
great
thought
choice
of it,
to hate.
yeah, legit. I totally agree with you. That would totally. If I had a list of 5, that would be in the top 5 games I would never play. Also, tell me why you hate it. I'm curious.
Well, for a start, like, who doesn't love the Marvel Comics universe, right? Like, nowadays everyone's seen the Avengers or Iron Man or whatever. Yeah, but as a kid, I was never really into comic books. I don't know if because I wasn't exposed to them. Like, you know, a lot of people our age, their dads might have read comics when they were younger. My dad didn't really, so like I didn't get that. And then my friends in primary school didn't read comics, so I didn't really get exposed to comics until I was an adult, right? Like, so I can appreciate them. I definitely do appreciate, especially the history that goes back in all these comic books. But well, I suppose so, and I appreciate it as well as seeing the movie side of the universe. I know people that love the comics books probably say the movies are trash, like they do with movies versus books and all that sort of thing, right? But
for sure, yeah.
Like, I froth all those sort of movies, as 99.9% of the population does.
Yeah.
The game itself is a small skirmish game as well, which is another bonus point. You pick your heroes and form your own sort of like little dream team, and then you battle your opponent, which, you know, the same thing with Malifaux. Like, all this stuff, looking at it, I go, okay, yeah, this is all kind of cool, but I just can't do it. Like, I just can't bring myself to play it. Like, the rules are even free online. Like,
wow.
And I was just looking at their website, and there's a couple of like little sweet scenarios. Like, you know, you can play single player or cooperatively and play against Ultron, who's like he has like an AI sort of system that you can use to control him.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, or you can play as the Incredible Hulk, who has to stop all the other like normal heroes. They've been affected by radiation or something. They're gone crazy, and like all these like narrative things again, which could be really cool, but it's just a hard pass from me, man.
Is it? Yeah, so what is it specifically? When you look at it, you go, rules are cool, models are cool, I like the movies.
Well, yeah, I don't think all the models are cool. I think some of them are. Like, a couple of them like I would probably buy and paint. Like, Star-Lord, I think he looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
Rocket.
But yeah, Rocket too. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because maybe I'd be into it if I actually had read the comics as a kid and, you know, gotten more deep into it and more of the lore that those comics build up, you know, rather than just what you see in an hour and a half of a movie.
Sure.
So,
yeah. If you were more into the lore, you think maybe, but
possibly.
What I think for me when I think of it, and the more I think about that game, is some of the other games I mentioned, maybe like Kings of War and stuff, like I don't think I'd ever play, but
no.
I could see maybe in 3 years from now I'd get sucked into it if it had a good community and the rules had changed and new armies had come out. But when you said Crisis Protocols, I thought that is absolutely something I would just never touch. Yeah. And for me, it's because a lot of our listeners know I struggle if I can't get entirely immersed in a game. Like, if there's a named character, just one in an army, I'm just like, well, now I'm out of it completely.
Yeah, you have to see yourself in there, which is interesting.
Yeah, mate, that's a great word to sum me up. It's just interesting. I feel like they'd love to do a case study on me because
you're a specimen,
like,
dude.
It's everything that's wrong with a lot of people just in one person. But some things that I love because, like, when we play Underworlds, I love playing as Scritch. I love that it's the only time I've ever been like, oh no, that's a lie. I like playing as Jyn Erso, but in Star Wars. But typically, if there's General Grievous or Darth Vader, I'm like, oh, what are we doing here? Is this canon? I don't think so. I don't feel right about this. And that game is that experience on steroids. It's like, I'm playing. Hey, wait, I have Black Panther, and so do you. What's going on here?
Well, I don't know. There might be rules to like dictate that you can't. I mean, nah, surely not, right? Like,
surely
you'd have
not.
To be able to, you have to be able to have the same hit.
And you know
like
what?
Heroes.
The Marvel universe has a lot of caveats that would still make it work, like alternate universes and things like that. So, really, in the comic universe, it probably makes sense. You could make it make sense, but for me, it's like, this is Spider-Man. Well, I'm not playing. What am I doing here?
It's just that meme of Spider-Man like pointing at himself, the two of them. That's that game in one meme.
That's so true, man. That's such a good, and that's everything I hate about it too. So,
I'd play, right, if I went to like even your house and you pulled that box out of the cupboard, you'd be like, this is what we're hitting today. I'd be like, all right, let's fucking do it. Like just to play a game, but I wouldn't go out of my own way. I think to like play. Yeah.
I feel like if I came over to your house and you were like, "Hey, man, I've painted up 2 factions. I got this. You got this. Let's go." I'd be like, can we just play a bit of like Armada or something?
Gaslands instead.
Can we play Gaslands, dude? Can we play Kings of War or something? Yeah. No, I get it, dude. I get it. You from a lack of, you kind of feel like you're not in that universe.
Yeah.
You missed the boat on that whole thing. It's too big. There's too much lore that you just don't have the time to catch up on.
Nah.
Yeah, I get that.
I could easily go back and, and learn it all and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, nah, not happening.
Yeah.
I will buy some of the models eventually just to paint them and put them on a shelf or something like that, or in a cabinet, but not, don't plan to throw any dice for that game anytime soon.
Fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a bonus game.
What's the bonus game, dude?
It's another game I was thinking. I actually came about it because I was looking into it probably for like the 15th time. I was like, I keep coming back to this game and I keep bailing out for the same reasons. So that's likely to continue for the rest of my life. And for that reason, I'll never play it. Is this piece of shit? Nah, it's probably fine. It's Star Wars Armada.
Oh.
So
okay.
You and me both love space games. Fleet games especially.
Yep.
But Armada, man, is so expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive. And it's like, why would I limit myself to the Star Wars universe for a premium when we can play Billion Suns,
Yeah, and do the exact same. Like, we could make little X-Wings and fucking TIE Fighters and shit into Billion Suns.
Yeah.
But, I've looked at Armada as well, and I think I would love to command, like, a squadron of fucking, like,
so
Star
good.
Destroyers, That would be sick. I'd froth that.
I would froth that too, but the problem is we would spend an arm and a leg, and it would only ever be you and me because the scene for it is so small because of the price. I mean, the Star Wars X-Wing has times where it goes into these massive lulls where it doesn't have a huge player base, and that's the flagship. So we're talking about its slightly slower younger brother, Armada. It's even that much harder to find games. Yeah. So that's the problem with it. Everything about it is dope. It's Star Wars. It's mass fleet. It's amazing, but I can't see myself ever having that much money. Like, I could buy a Star Wars Armada fleet or a full 40k 2,000 point army and probably get a commission painted for the same price.
You're kidding. It's much expensive, is it?
Dude.
Fuck. I haven't, like, really taken notice of the price.
Yeah.
I know, like, there are little, like, single ships which are, like, over $100.
Yeah.
But damn. Yeah.
I should have. I was looking into it because I was trying to figure out, like, how much is it to, like, play this game, and I was finding some armies secondhand.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, someone had bought an army and they wanted to sell out, and that was like $1,200.
Jesus.
And I was like, wait, that's a secondhand price. A brand new in box 40k 2,000 point army competitive, like, you just pick and choose whatever you want, is $1,100.
Yeah.
So I'm getting someone else's secondhand, and I still have to paint it. That's the thing about Armada,
Oh, is it not pre-painted?
You know what? Now I'm thinking it's some are pre-painted, some aren't.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, don't quite me on that. Go find out yourself.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Do your own research.
Yeah.
Don't come to us.
For sure. Yeah. What do you listen to us for? Like, at all? Yeah. So, if it was a little bit cheaper, that's the thing. Like, it's a secondary game for us.
Yeah.
Armada, so much rules, such a big footprint. It would be amazing to play, but to learn the rules, to paint the models if we have to do that, and to then even spend $500 to get a fleet would be nuts. And then there's cards and so many different mechanics. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
We haven't even played Legion, and we have models for that.
We do.
Well, we played 2 games of Legion, I think. But yeah, what I'm saying? Like, we haven't played full-scale Legion, which is dirt cheap compared to Armada.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
That's a game I would love to play, but I fully expect I never will. So
No. Damn. That's I didn't expect that one to come out of the blue there.
yeah, me neither. To be honest, it was only because it's a little bit of a different choice. You know, if it was cheaper, more accessible, and had a larger audience, I could fully see myself playing it.
Yep.
Even if it was just you and me, to be honest, if it was more affordable and just you and I played, sure, that'd be dope. But it's not. If we have to, if we have to spend like $5,000 between us to play a game, I don't know, man. Star Wars Armada ain't it?
No, it's not. That's not happening.
yeah, for sure. So, I love how we set the audience up to fully expect that we would just shit on games for like an hour. But like,
no, but we
mostly talked about what was good about them.
They are, but why we're not playing them.
Here's all these amazing games you should play, but we never will. That's what we should have called it.
True.
Everyone is incredibly disappointed. But I mean, that's just it about Wargames. Like, it's so great that it's so popular now.
Yeah.
That there's something for everyone. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that some people, some folks, just won't like, and those are ours.
That's it. Well, that I thought it was going to get a bit more brutal than that, to be honest.
I can't think of a game that I would just shit on, that I absolutely hate.
Nah, me either. I you know me, man. I'd play everything, I reckon. We're
Wargames, man. Yeah. If
if push came to shove, I'd play it.
Yeah, sure. In fact, all these games we've mentioned, we'll probably play them. Nah.
Yeah. Stay tuned for our next Journey Into.
Journey Into Armada.
Kings of War.
and Crisis Protocol. Yeah.
Oh, God damn.
Nah, I think of all the games we've both mentioned, I was going to say I'm least likely to play Marvel. But I think it's Gaslands for sure.
Would you play Malifaux before Gaslands?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, fuck you, dude.
I mean, if you want me to. How many beers you had?
Not enough.
Okay. Anyways, so we've got a painting competition on at the moment. It's got 1 week left, roughly.
1 week, maybe like 10 days if you're lucky, but that time will quickly evaporate.
Yes, as our love for these games we've mentioned did long ago.
Yes.
What is it?
Jump on that. Is the winter painting competition. So pick there's no point really telling them now. It's too late, but try and get something done.
No, you can do it. Yeah. No, you fully can. Because we've got our third place prize is a random prize.
For
anyone that enters. It's a $50 voucher for Throw the Dice.
Yep.
Which is a local store to us. So if you want to support them in any way, that actually helps us because it's an awesome store. And if we can continue going there and playing because you're buying stuff from them, that's awesome.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Except for like stores that aren't Throw the Dice.
Exactly. Then they lose big.
But that's fine. We're willing to wear that.
Yeah.
So it's a winter painting comp. You can see all the dates on our Facebook. Find a model, paint it under the conditions of that competition, finish it, and you go in the running to win a $50 voucher. Yeah. Or if you're God tier and can smack out a model in a week, you could win the actual prize of first or second, which is also dope.
It could be done. Could be done.
Absolutely.
Yep. So check that out. We'll draw that on our next live episode, which at this stage, who the fuck knows when it's going to be, but it will be. It will be. That's all I can say is it will be.
It will be, yeah. It will exist. It will happen at some stage. Could be January.
At some stage.
We'll find out.
Could be. That'll be, as soon as we're out of lockdown, as soon as we can get back in the studio, it'll be the first thing that week, basically. So keep an eye out for that on all our socials, like Facebook. That's pretty much that one. And YouTube, we got videos on YouTube. I made a little tank video. I loved it. So if you want to check that out.
I loved it. Spoiler alert, number one. No, I won't tell them. Go watch the video on YouTube. I like the
Number one is the Chimera.
Wait, no, it isn't.
No, it's not.
Barely even a tank, dude.
True.
Top 5 tanks of the Imperium, as voted by Shane. It's on the tubes. You'll see it's because it's the only one with a good thumbnail.
Thank Gridlock for that thumbnail.
Oh, there you go. Good on you, Gritty.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, patrons. Y'all are the best.
Absolutely. You guys keep us doing this, even in remote recording.
Yeah.
So massive shout out to Burnsy, Whack, Final, Joey P, Lockie, MJ, Lethal, Moose, and Penny.
Oh, sorry, mid-gulp. Elko, Arkham, Caitlin, Dave, Churchy, Rad, Ollie, Hawkers, Aggro, Gritty. Y'all are amazing. We couldn't do this without you, especially now that we're doing remote stuff like this. We couldn't buy this equipment to do stuff at home if you didn't help us run the actual podcast. I mean, this is the actual podcast, but you know what I'm saying. In the studio stuff. That's all you.
That is all you guys. And obviously those just listening now, you guys help too by just encouraging us to keep going and try and come up with more episodes. And
every time it says, hey, someone's listening to your podcast, we're like, really? Why? I mean, okay, I guess we'll keep doing it then. So
that's it.
You support us also. Even little things, liking Facebook posts, commenting on our YouTube videos, which Moose is phenomenal at. I love it. Every time we drop a YouTube video, he comments on it, and I'm just like...
In like 2 minutes of being up, I'm like, you haven't even finished watching the video yet. You're commenting on it.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, exactly. As soon as it goes live, he's like, well, this is garbage. I'm like, oh, Moose commented. Yeah. So every little thing you can do that helps. We got dope merch. Suss that out, especially this week. Got some new additions.
Oh, yes.
So,
there's new shit up there. Check that out.
Yep. And that's going to be That's going to be a thing that happens more than it has previously.
Yes.
So appreciate y'all. Let us know. Jump in the Discord, which you can find at hobbyhomies.com. Let us know what the games you'll never play are.
Yeah.
Or in the comments on whatever the medium you're listening on is.
Yeah.
I'm out.
We will keep an eye out for that sort of stuff.
I'm gone, Shane. I'm already gone. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'll wrap it up then.
Right,
Thanks for listening, guys.
Tell us more about your hats,
see you next week. Peace.